That was nice of it.
Let's call the public hearing to order. Delisle.
Here.
Chisholm.
Here.
Thompson.
Here.
McSparron.
Here.
I was going to say he's going to be here. Mitchell.
Sorry. Here.
All right, everybody's here. This is the public hearings in the sewer revenue improvement refunding loan and disbursement agreement, which I read through again today, which is an awful lot of words in it. Our interest rate's going down to 0.75. I think it was 1 point something else before.
No, I didn't bring that sheet.
Yeah, but it's going down not quite a whole percent, but almost about 3/4. Well, it was actually closer to 2. So it is going down, and that we will continue to make the payments we've been making on the original loan. That was from 2013 to 2033, which I do not plan to be in this seat in 2033. That's a ways down the road. Now Brian will probably still be here, but so anybody have any questions or comments or anything about the loan?
I have a comment that we need to address raising the water bill as like now. We should have raised it a long time ago, even just a partial amount, because they sent the schedule of payments and it's pretty steep. And I know that we're gonna have a hard time making
Well,
that.
I talked to Brad at the Area 15 about when the loan that we got to raise water payments has not closed yet, and it won't close until there's some things going on. And then after that, he said they're going to get me a time when it's going to close and approximately what our payments are going to be on, because this is just the existing one we have.
This is what it's going to be with the amounts that they're going to do. If we go ahead and lower the interest rate, this will include that interest rate change in there. And we're looking at initial fee, $140 on September 30th. An estimated draw on September 30th of $25,860. An estimated draw on October 14th of $2,000. And then we have to turn around and pay again in December, another $1,450. And then every 6 months we'll make a payment. And it's the one in June that's the big one, $18,450. And that's going to be pretty much the set, around $1,500 and $18,000. We're looking at every year, and we have not started putting any money aside, and we need to at least put in a little bit. If we don't take the whole amount, we need to at least start taking some and building that bank out.
We are putting $10.68 a month in the fund for that, to make that payment. And we are going to, next month on the agenda will be the fact that we're going to change that order to raise the water rates. At least $6, and maybe it may be up to the same as we did before. So we can start getting that now, because we'll put on the agenda, we can have the set public hearing, and then in November we'll pass that, and then we'll start, that'll go into effect, can go into effect November, so we'll know the water bill.
So I'm just saying, we have sat on this for 2 years, and we need to do something now. It is too late. So, yes, I'm sorry.
So why hasn't the council been raising gently instead of hitting us all at once? Because this is a dying community of people that are set with their paychecks that can't handle $6 to $10 raise at once. We need to.
When the first raise went through the first time, the $10.68 a month, that's assessed just for the sewer that's on your bill now. And if you took that times 167, 168 residents, that came out to just about the amount that we need to make the payments on that until it was done. So that's already been done. That's been in place for at least 2 years, maybe more, because it was the loan was in 2013. This next loan, they don't even know exactly now how much that it's going to be, because we had a $300,000 grant, and the sewer lining came in at $68,000, and the other one came, the part the left side is $191,000. And so that, you take that, it's about 500 and something. And so our loan, we approved borrowing up to $450,000, but we're only going to have to end up borrowing close someplace in the neighborhood of $200,000.
okay, but for the future, like our children's, what is being set back to for replacement down the road, so they're not having to take these big hits in the future? I mean, is there money being set back to also help with keeping the sewer and that stuff up to date?
Well,
I mean, it's fine.
the only fund we are setting aside separate just for sewer now is the $10.68 a month.
Which is just for payment though.
But just for the payment, yes. And the plan, we're probably going to have to raise it at $6, and then in a year or so, we may have to raise it another $6. But we don't know that number until what it's going to have to be. But we are going to start next month the process of changing the ordinance to raise the sewer.
A $2 increase would be easier than a $6 increase, because I'm talking about the older community that
Right.
has a fixed income.
I know
Because
those.
it's hard, yeah,
Okay, I'm just gonna throw this out there. When I'm looking at this schedule, starting, if we put all this, we lower the interest rate and we're gonna start making these payments, $20,000 roughly a year is what we're gonna have to pay out. And you break it down over 12 months, we need at least $1,666 a month set aside to make that payment. So we need to think about how much we're really gonna have to do that.
What is the current fund balance?
$10.68 each month goes towards the sewer repayment.
Of each person?
Yes.
Okay, because you're stating like all you're putting aside is $10
No,
a month. And I'm like, well, that's not very much at all.
$10.68 times 167.
That's $21,530 a year.
Yeah, that should be enough, that's enough to cover this. But we're gonna have to raise it again to cover the next one. And that, we don't know how much that's going to be. Yeah, $10.68 is per person, per water, whoever water bill.
This first payment's gonna wipe that out though.
I think that draw is where, isn't this the refinance for the project down there on the Lagoon
No,
Road?
has nothing to do with that. This is the refinance and refunding of the original loan from 2013.
It also includes
But
the
it-
$28,000 that we borrowed for that little project that they said wasn't gonna cost us, and it did.
But that's not what this 27 something is here?
This is the first, this is
These
including,
draws.
that's what they're gonna, when we implement this is the first draws that they're gonna take towards this loan, but it's already included in this project. This is the amounts, they've already re-totaled it all into one lump sum. That's what it says, starts back in January 2013.
But this 2013, we're not amending this to cover the project down there?
The way that, this is what, the way that they give you the money for that project,
I
is they
understand.
they lower the interest rate.
This
And so
is
that's
covering.
that's how they include it, but they lower the interest rate so that over the life of the loan, the $28,000, you're not supposed to have to pay for it. So it's just like
We're
everything
just
else you get from the
refinancing the
government.
last.
But I think Cindy's exactly right. It is the 2013
Right.
plus the $28,000 for the lagoon.
Yeah, and that's it. That's all this is refinancing to lower our interest rate. That's all it's covering.
Right.
Yes.
This doesn't have anything to do with the 2015 bond.
No.
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 That's.
So that's coming up. This isn't,
This isn't, this 28,000 was a draw, that means we're drawing money out of it. I don't know, I'm just.
So can I ask my question
I know we
again?
don't
What
think
is
that.
the fund balance in the water department?
I don't think it does. I think that's just what they're setting off.
I can't tell you that right off the top of my head. We have that number, I mean, I know that every month we put almost $21,000 into there for the payment, for the year, not every month. But by the time at the end of the year, there's more money in there than what we need to pay for it. Now, but the next one, I don't want to raise the funds at, say, $6 and find out we only need to raise it $4. But they're supposed to let me know this week how much, an approximate date is going to close and an approximate amount there's going to be, and not casting concrete, so that we can.
He advised us that we're probably going to look at needing to raise it $8 to $12. So even if we raise it $6, we should be well below what we need to raise it to make the funds. And even if we can estimate based on this one what our cost is going to be, it's a better estimate to even go half of it than and we will at least be ahead instead of scrambling to come up with the money.
That's what we're going to do that next month. We can't do it this month. Yes.
I know you get tired of me asking this meeting after meeting after meeting, but until you know what the fund balance is in your water account, how can you even make an educated guess on where you need to raise rates? I mean, how much money do you have in your fund balance? I don't know how you can make any decisions on any of this, Bill, without knowing what's in your fund balance.
We know how much we have to put in there every month. We know how much is
So what is
every
in
month.
your fund balance? That's my question.
As of right now, I don't know. But if you take $10.68 times what everybody pays in water, then that gives us what we take every month.
So then that goes back to Mike's point about how are you planning for the future if you don't know what you have currently. You might be able to raise your rates to pay for this, but you don't have any idea where you need to go to for the future.
The thing of the future, the next thing that's going to happen that is going to be, make the sewer projects look like they were small, is the water lines were put in Wing Cookie about 1970.
They was in the 60s.
They started in the 60s and they were done like someone said 1974. How many years ago is that?
42.
Over 50.
And our water lines, there's going to come a point that
We're gonna
that's
have
the
to
next
replace
big
them.
project that are going to have to be replaced. And that's the sewer. They could go down in with the little camera and their thing and do it. The water lines are going to have to be dug up, and we're going to be digging up streets and everything. So that's I don't even want to actually think about how much that's going to cost, but that's going to be the next big thing. Before there's a problem with the sewer, the next big thing is going to be the water lines. Grant?
But
That reinforces the point. We know that's coming. I think Bloomfield experienced something similar about 2 years ago. Either the water system, I believe it was a water system, that now would be the time to try to set aside a financial pocket for the known upcoming relining of the city, if you want to call it that, of the water system.
Yeah, that's what we're going to have to start doing. We're not going to do it this month, but we're going to have to start, and then what's going to happen is some water lines are going to start breaking, and the EPA is going to come down and test the water and say,
I had to do it in my own house when I purchased that house.
well, a number of people have done it in their houses.
Right, but that doesn't get
But
the
that
water
doesn't
from
change
point A
the
to
water in
point
the
B to
line
your
that's
house.
out in front of your yard. So, but we will have on the agenda next month to raise the water rates.
this information I got from Dorsey and Whitney here, page 8, they're talking about gross revenue, operating expense, net revenue from operation before payment of the capital, and all this stuff's blank. There's nothing here.
It's because we had to fill it in and send it back.
But wouldn't that be something that the council would be interested in knowing, and possibly the public?
It probably would be, and once we fill that in. We can't fill that in until, we have to fill in and send it until we go ahead and pass this resolution. We have it, we already did this earlier this year.
Okay, well, this talking year ending 15, which we ended 15.
Yes.
Haven't we, fiscal year 15?
Yes,
And we're half, or we what, I guess we got a good start on
3 months
16.
into it.
So you ought to know at least what you had at the end of 15 in your fund balance,
Yes,
okay?
we haven't put it down there yet because we haven't filled those papers out. Until we pass this, there's no sense for us to go through and do all that information.
Bill, fund balances are supposed to be updated every month.
They are.
They are.
But we need to go on, right now, this is questions about this particular sewer project.
So what is the 2015 fund balance at the end of the year?
I do not know right now.
Does anybody know?
I'm sure we could find out on the computer, but we don't have it at our fingertips right this second. Are there any other questions, comments about this particular improvement refunding loan and disbursement agreement? Yes, Larry?
On that $10.68 that's on everybody's bill, what if you got somebody on there that's not paying?
Then that doesn't come in until they do pay, that's right, and that's why.
Well, that throws your figures all
Yeah, and
off.
I'm thinking that, I was not involved in this when they came up with that amount, but having talked to Jason and those who came up with that, they sort of made it a little bit higher to cover some of that. But I can't tell you the exact number what it was, because I wasn't here.
I wasn't, I can't tell you the exact.
I was here, but I wasn't involved in that. But there is supposed to be a little bit extra to cover some of those people who don't pay on time.
I know there's confidentiality issues, but I think this council needs to know how many people are delinquent and how much money is out there, because the people that are paying are carrying the ones that aren't. And I hear people grumble. I get to hear the grumble.
And we've done that, we've made that list available, not recently, but I know we've got those that are paying, and there's some behind, and some are catching up, and there's some that if they don't do something, then the water will be shut off. There have been some whose water was shut off. And
we need some numbers here, something we've
Yes,
got to
ma'am.
put our teeth in.
Is the water and sewer bill divided down and kept in separate funds?
Separate,
hon?
yes.
So actually, your sewer bill goes up with this proposed
Right.
increase. Why couldn't they do a little bit toward the water?
Well, we can.
Also, so that we're starting to prepare for the water lines.
We can do that, we can't do it tonight, but we can consider that and do that,
Because they are two separate funds,
That's
are
right.
they not, hon? Yeah.
yes. But I think on your water bill, it seems like your regular sewer is $10 and something a month,
Uh-huh.
10.01 or 10, and then it says extra fee. or
That's our
whatever.
increase
Yeah,
to pay for
that's
this
the extra to
project
just pay for
now.
the project that started in 2013.
Is that going into a separate account, a separate checking account
Yes,
altogether?
not a checking account, but in their savings account.
So, do you know what the fund balance is?
I
in
do
that
not
account?
know that, Patty, off the top of my head, no.
Okay.
And I got the current bank
The banks
statement.
did, but we just, really just started doing that in the last 3 months, 6 months. I told Roberta that we need to, so that we know where it is, and it's not, even with the other sewer, as far as that goes, and the water. If there's nothing else, I'd move that we adjourn the public hearing. I would entertain a motion to do that.
I will make the motion when
And
I'll second it.
is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Hearing none, motion carries. Calling the regular meeting together. DeWild. Chisholm.
here.
Thompson.
Here.
McFerrin.
Here.
Mitchell.
Here.
Everybody's here. All right, we have the consent agenda. There's also on here, there's a building permit. I could cross it and get my word out.
Thank you.
From Levine Marie Allison. Sun shelter. They lost a tree and now they don't have any shelter over the patio. So, is that next? That's part of the consent agenda, right?
Yep.
Are there any questions about the, and I know we will have the next meeting, we're working on getting information so that we can, each area on our budget, that we can have in there exactly what we've spent so far, as to what was budgeted.
I'll make a motion to pass the consent agenda.
Is there a second?
One second. it.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay.
Nay.
4 ayes, 1 nay, motion carried. Resolution authorizing approving a loan and disbursement agreement providing for the insurance and securing the payment of the $359,414.52 sewer revenue improvement funding bonds. And that will be, you have that copy there? It's going to be resolution 16.12. No, 16.9.12.1. And we talked about it, and we know what has to be done. So I want to make a motion to accept, or to approve this resolution. Someone asked me, what happens if we don't approve it? So I asked, then they're gonna expect a check for $307,000. Next 30 days, to cover this, which I told the guy, I said, well, we can write you a check. Just don't take it to the bank. It's not gonna go through. So, but we need someone to make a motion to approve this.
This is for what we're doing right now.
Yes. This is for the one that from 2013.
Okay.
That they're basically gonna buy up all the old bonds and they're gonna sell new ones at the lower interest rate. That's, if you read all those words, that's technically what they're going to do.
I'll make a motion to pass resolution 16.9.12.1 for the loan and disbursement agreement and providing for the insurance and security fund $359,414.52 for the sewer revenue improvement refunding bonds. If I said that wrong, you're out of luck.
Is there a second? Did you second that?
Yeah, I will.
Don?
That's not what I said, but I will.
Is there any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay.
Nay.
We have 4 ayes and 1 nay. Motion carries. The Alliant Energy franchise fee and contract, what's in there, this is just information we're going to deal with next month. We're going to set a public hearing for this, but what happens now is we don't have a franchise fee with Alliant Energy, and so every year we get a check for $134 because our percent that we have is 0. If we raise that to 1, and what happens, the rest of the money goes to Wapello County and to Tumwa. So if we make it even 1%, it'll raise everybody's electric bill by 1%. But we, as the city, we will get at least $2,000 every year instead of the $130. Instead of sending letting it have Wapello County have it or Tumwa get it, it would come to here. So that's what the agreement that the franchise fee agreement is. I was at a meeting and they talked about franchise fees. We don't have a franchise fee on this telephone building that's over here. We can assess one, which means that we would, let's say if we did it for 1 or 2%, and everybody's bill would come to us instead of going straight to the other. So any utility that uses your property and is in your city limits, you can charge them a franchise fee, or you can tell them if they have to go someplace else and get somebody else or whatever. What you don't want to do is like there used to be cable in Blakesburg, from what I understand, and the reason that they're not here anymore is because it was going to cost them over $100 a customer to upgrade to what the FCC told them they had to do. So there are a lot of nice cable lines out there, but none of them are any good. But that's one way that I know that some of the cities are trying to find extra income by with the franchise fees. But this is not, we're going to vote on this, it's just for your information, so you can see what it is and read the papers. And, yes.
I'm curious, because it looks like maybe our agreement is coming due with Alliant Energy.
It comes, you can only do this every 20 years.
Okay.
And they said that if we go ahead and just discuss it tonight and decide we want to do something like this, then we need to get it on next month's agenda for the public hearing and all that, and they'll give us all the information for that. We can continue to keep it at a 0%. Like you said, what I was told by Keith, the guy at Alliant Energy, he said that right now we're only receiving $134. At Tumwa, and Wapello County are getting the rest of the funds. He says that even if you don't want to do it this time, but you still have to have like a certain percent, like a 1%, he said, then that way there in the next 20 years, you can change it. If we decide not to, you have 20 years. After 20 years, then you can change it again. But he said right now, he says you guys are doing yourself no favor because Wapello County and Ottumwa are getting your funds, because in recent years, we've chosen not to, we do the 0%.
I'm just curious, I think it's kind of an interesting concept to do the franchise fee, but I'd kind of like to know if, because of the city's financial state, that maybe we should possibly look into seeing if perhaps Sheraton Valley REC could give us a better deal. I don't know. I don't know how that works, and you know, that's not my area of expertise, but I'm curious about looking into it.
They'd have to buy it from Alliant Energy.
Would they have to buy it?
Yeah, and it would cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
And if you guys want more information, Keith Shorman is a really nice
I've got
guy.
cards
He's
for
sharp as a
everybody.
tack,
He
and
gave
he'd
me
be more than
those
happy to
cards,
come
so
talk
you
to
guys
you.
can contact him. He was wanting to be here tonight, but he had two other council
Because this house
meetings
has
he's
already
gonna
seen
be
this
at.
house went, and this
So he was
house
just
already
gonna say,
seen
if
it.
you guys have any questions, he can use his personal
Yeah.
cell phone number and cards to give you
So,
guys, so that
Bill,
way you guys.
yes.
Quick question, so
Cover him.
the electric company is going to charge everybody in town an incremental amount.
Yes.
And then the city, they're gonna collect that and the city's going to get some back. How does that incremental amount compare to what?
I have to give you a gavel.
He said that there is papers here. He said, he showed me the increments and stuff where we got $134 a month. But he said even if you raise it 1%, that's only gonna raise Alliant Energy customers $1.10 a month. He said instead of being.
By how many customers in the town times 12 months? I mean,
And
there's
the
no
max-
sense taking away from the people
Right.
and not getting that much
Right.
back in the city.
But in the meantime, you're still kind of getting the franchise. He said basically you're still kind of getting the franchise fee, but that goes to Ottumwa and that goes to Wapello County. Right now, we chose to do a 0%. We're only getting $134 a year.
Right, but the important thing is how much more are you gonna charge the people? And how much is the city going to get out of that? And if you get less than what the people get their things raised,
Right.
you don't wanna do, I mean,
the
you're just
max-
taking money
The
from the
math
citizens.
has to work.
The max is 5% that can be charged
Right.
by the city. I just thought I'd throw it out there in case anybody's panicking.
But I have no idea how much the people in town pay.
He said it was
What
going
is
to be an
1%
average of
back?
$1.10. Yeah, he's got.
On
it
how
down
many
in here.
people?
On everybody in town.
Which is how many? It's hard to multiply by.
Well,
However many meters there are.
we got
Yeah,
167
One- okay.
water meters. I'm
We've got
guessing, so I'm
296
guessing
people in
it's-
this town, but not everybody.
But
is.
167 times $1.10 times 12 months is $2,200 you're gonna take from the people in town, and you're gonna get 2,000 back.
About that.
So you're losing $200.
Well, the thing is we're never,
Well, it's better than
like,
losing almost 2,000.
we have people in town that aren't on Alliant Energy. So I don't know how.
So right here, he's got a paper
More.
right here. He said that there is a loss collected of $2,000. He says, right here, it says loss returned to the city is $134. That's what we received. Ottumwa and Wapello County get the rest of it. And he says, he says it's $1.10 for each franchise fee. He says if we even take it like at a 1%, he says we will get all of the $1,866 net gain over just a 1% franchise fee.
Net gain for the city,
For
but
the
you,
city.
but you're taking 2,200 away from people in town. Do you really wanna do that, is take it from there, give a little bit to the
Would
energy
you rather give it to
company?
Wapello County and Ottumwa?
No,
That's
that has
what
nothing to do
you're
with
saying.
it.
That's not the
I
point.
think
No,
it needs
no.
to be looked into.
It is
This
the point.
is the first time
No,
that
it's not.
we've really heard this, and I know I'd like to call and talk to this gentleman. He sounds.
What happens is Wapello
But-
County and Ottumwa raise their franchise fees.
So they get it.
And so they get that, even our customers pay into that. And we get nothing for it. So if we had something, they would get less and we would get more than we're getting now. I mean, it's something, that's why it's here, that we have, there are a couple handout sheets here that we can make copies of
We
afterwards.
should give these
Yeah,
copies.
everybody can have those, they wanna look
Because
at
it
them.
explains it, and it tells like we can use this for projects and things in the city. So that's kind of nice to know that it could be put back into our own city and not just be specifically stated for.
I looked at my last IS or Alliant bill, and there's no franchise fee listed on there at this time.
That's right.
No, we have not had one for over 20 years.
So where's the $134 coming from?
Which come the franchise fees that are collected in the county.
It's under the loss fee. This is here, you got a copy of it right here, what he stated. This is the loss collected, this is what we.
It's from sales tax, not from the franchise fee.
He says we even raise 1%, we can
Goes
get
on to
all of
sales
this,
tax, is what it
and
is.
it's only gonna cost $110 for each.
This gentleman here has a.
Yeah, excuse me, I'm Ron Thompson, I'm from Alliant. I have to admit, I don't know the franchise fee in and out like Keith Sherman does. I will make sure, I talked to Keith last week, he was sorry he couldn't be here, at a previous meeting. I'll make sure if this is something that the city council and the city wants more information, I will make sure that there's a representative here from that department next month at the meeting. And I just want to point out too that when you talk about the franchise fees and collecting it, and you know, you made the comment that it goes to the utility, it doesn't. We just collect it and then we disperse it. Alliant Energy gets nothing of the franchise fee, not a penny. So I think it's explained in there. We collect the funds, we'll hold them, and then I believe it's 30 days after the quarter. It has to be, we'll disperse those funds, all of those funds, before the last day of that month. So 4 times a year, Alliant Energy sends the money out. I can't break the percentages down like Keith can, because again, I'm sorry, I don't know it that well. But Blakesburg if say you would go the 1%, Blakesburg's going to get almost all of that money. A small part of that will go back to the Ottumwa and to WAPELLO County, because a small portion of theirs comes to you guys. And again, I can't break that down at this point. I think Keith or that department would be able to. But just a couple things that I did want to point out is that all 100% of that franchise fee money is sent back to the communities. Alliant keeps nothing. And so and if any questions that I can take back, I'll talk to Keith tomorrow, and I'll be happy to find answers for you. But you guys are generating a lot of questions, and I really think we need to have somebody at the next month's meeting to to help explain this.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, we'll make copies of these 2 sheets afterwards, and people can have those, which.
And if I can add one more, just quick thing. That franchise fee law was changed here, and this is what Keith told me about a week ago. That franchise fee law was changed. I'm not sure if I know all that. And if, I'll use Blakesburg for the example, if you choose to have a 0% franchise fee going forward, that franchise fee can be added at any point during the 20-year period without renewing the franchise. So that can be added on at any point. I didn't realize that until Pete told me that here a week or so ago. So, and again, that's something that.
But you have to choose to do something. You have to vote to do the 0. Is that what I'm understanding?
Correct. It would either be 0 or 1%. So if you just renew the franchise with no percentage of franchise fee, it would be 0. But that can be changed without going through a total franchise fee.
But if we don't do anything, then it can't be changed. I mean.
No, it can be.
If we just let it die and not do anything about it.
Oh, the franchise?
Yeah.
No, that could be renewed at any point too.
Okay.
That can be renewed?
Yeah, because.
But I thought you said they had to sign something.
Well, that was.
They can't do nothing.
You can do that. You can do nothing. Keith and that department and the line will work real hard to get you to sign the franchise. There's benefits for the city and Alliant Energy both. And quite honestly, it protects Alliant Energy for the next 20 years if we come in and make a substantial investment to upgrade the system, new poles, new wire or something, because we know that the community is going to be Alliant Energy's customer for the next 20 years. So it kind of protects our investment. Because I believe you had the question of going to a municipal, creating a municipal, or
Right.
going to another utility company. Those are options that you have. say that quite. Well, my boss probably wouldn't like to hear that.
It sounds like a negotiation going on here. Because everybody can do streetlights so we're not dark at night.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is start asking for them and they'll start showing up.
And
All
anybody
you
can
gotta
do
do is
that.
call them and tell them they're out.
Yeah, you don't have that, I don't have to do it with council, you can call it, the street light in front of my house is not there.
That's part of Alliant Energy's policy right now. As we go along, we're upgrading all the lights. I mean, eventually you'll get all new lights anyway, but if they're working, we're not replacing them.
Well, I think the question is more maybe additional lighting in the city, because it is pretty dark, walking.
You know, I will have to say one thing about that. We have replaced quite a few lights with the new things. Our bill has dropped from $1,500 a month for street lights down to
We're going
$700.
from
because
And
$400
a lot of our,
to
a lot of our streetlights are not on.
They're
Things
not
are
working.
coming
They
out
don't
and replacing
work.
the one.
You just have to pull it in
We're not random.
and they'll replace them.
1%.
I got the marking
We got
tape
some
in my
that
truck,
they
so I'll
on for
take
a
care
few
of it.
dollars and they back off.
He's an Alliant guy, just
Yeah.
have him, he'll mark the tape and then he can let the guys know when they tell him.
Bill talked to me this afternoon, and I got marking tape in the truck. Any lights aren't working tonight, we'll mark them, we'll give a call in, so.
When it gets dark tonight.
Yeah,
Right.
but I will say they are changing over to the new LEDs or whatever, and that has dropped our bill almost in half. For
Good.
just doing that, because it was like 1,500, and then they started doing that program, and then anybody was calling in, and then we went through here one time and had, called in all the ones, and they changed them, and it's dropped our street bill to $720-some versus $1,500 and something we were paying for the old time street lights.
If I could just make a comment on that too. Yeah, if any of the streetlights out, let us know, we'll come fix it. But any new additional lights, we'll be happy to hang, but to do that, we need a referendum from the city council.
Okay.
So just to give us approval, because that does go on the city's bill. And so, so a homeowner can't call us and say, I want a streetlight in front of my house.
Approximately what is the cost? Do you have any idea to add a new pole and a street light? Because I'm wondering if this tax could go into helping us put new poles in eventually, which would be good.
I can calculate that for you.
That would be awesome to kind of have an idea, because, that might be something that we could look at using.
I think we gave Bill a list of some of the streetlights that
For
are off
around the park.
around the park, huh?
And if it's just if there's a pole there and you just want another streetlight out of it, there's no cost to that, just whatever that monthly fee is. It would be with the usage, about $13 a month.
Because we do have some intersections in places, if it just had another light going the other direction to light that way instead of just where it is, that would be sufficient to light it up, but,
Yeah, and that's easy to do.
it's something we can look at.
I called one in for down there by Kendall Bremer, and it took me over an hour before I got through and got to talk to anybody.
My wait the other day was
I
gonna
can
be over
streamline
3
that.
hours.
Just gotta know somebody who knows somebody.
Yeah, just let it.
I hung up, I wasn't gonna sit there for 3 hours waiting.
All day.
Yeah.
No.
Call back
It's
this
been
morning, it was
difficult.
45 minutes.
I do have
Yeah, it
another
was
question.
3 hours the other day.
It was commented that, some of the people in the area might have Sheraton Valley. So if they have Sheraton Valley and they happen to be in our area, are they gonna have to get rid of their current provider and go to Alliant?
No,
No.
Okay, I
because
just wanted to
those
make sure.
territories are actually established by the state.
Okay.
So we have our area that we serve customers, and Sheridan Valley has theirs. I know all the utility companies, we try to be real careful that we stop at our boundary lines. I know once in a while, somebody will build a house and it's really close to the REC line, it may be in our territory, and they just start talking to the REC, and next thing you know, they're serving that house. Alliant's done it a couple times too. The boundary lines can be a little fuzzy.
So if the boundary line runs right through your house, I think we have some of those here. Okay. We'll have some more information available at the next meeting.
Yeah.
And then we'll make the copies of these things. You can have those talks about the franchise. The nice thing to know is that they're just basically holding it for us to give it back to us. All right, moving on, 2080 agreement with Wapello County Sheriff. I think I gave everybody copies of this and plenty of time to look at it. I also included a little sheet in there, which is not part of this, just a suggestion. The way this will work, Heather, our attorney, has made up a bill of sale for the truck for $24,000. The county treasurer will write us a check for $24,000, which we will put into the police fund. And then from that, we will write a check if we do it we do it the 15th of September, the amount is $8,244.52 to pay off the truck, which will leave us, I didn't bring that sheet with me, but a little money. Then we got-
$4,655.48.
Yeah, okay, yeah, and then if we take from that money, we can either write a check and pay for the rest of this year, or we can pay it by quarter, which would mean we would owe them for September, $1,100 and some dollars, whatever it is. And then we could make another payment in December for the next quarter, or we could just pay the whole thing. We don't have to decide that tonight, but I mean, the money will be there. We would, and I talked to the sheriff, I talked to the county treasurer, it's like, most of the other cities that do this pay quarterly. And, you know, so if we could do, whatever, and then when we get that, by the end of the year, we should have about $4,000 or something like that left, that we could move to, let's say, streets, and fill some more potholes. Talking to potholes, Wednesday morning, D&D Trucking, gonna go get about 2 tons of not.
Last time we picked up hot patch or
Yes.
cold patch, that day we did it, that was 10 ton I picked up. I called out to
Okay, well, whatever they picked up, they're gonna pick it up again, okay? And we're going to start and do the parade route. And then if we have anything left, there are a few other areas that we're losing cars in. Now, intersection of High Street and South Street.
Yes,
Yes.
South Street's real bad.
I know,
It's real
Dave put a
We
bunch
got,
of gravel
we
in
got
there.
the list, we drove through.
Yeah, but,
Yeah.
so that's gonna happen Wednesday morning, right? Do we know what time you guys are gonna go get that, or?
as soon as we can get in there.
Okay, and then, so we will need some help. The gas
Question
boiler,
was, we ran out last time.
yes.
Yes.
So do you want to up by 2 ton, go 12 ton, or do you want to go 14?
I would rather have too much, I don't think we can buy too
That stuff
much.
go-
We can haul 18 ton, we just need to know what.
I don't think we could, I think 12 ton, I don't think we'd have too much.
If you get the cheap stuff, it doesn't keep.
That's right, so we're gonna get we want the warm stuff this time.
Well, it's a cold patch, so I mean, it's warm when it comes out of the thing, but it's gonna,
Yeah, but last time we got something that had been there for a
It
while.
was starting to clump up on us there for a while, and then it kind of came out of it.
well, that's because it was kind of cool that morning.
Yeah, but we're gonna get it, and Bob's got a backpack gas
I
blower
don't know
that we
whether
can
that'll
use.
run or not.
Okay, well, Al has one too, I don't know if it's a backpack or just a handheld gas blower, because you gotta blow all the little things out of there and stuff.
Get your lighter and thing, hairspray.
Al, wanna let you, are you gonna have a tractor available?
Well, that's what we talked about, I think we can get the tractor here by
We're gonna go
I'll
get
get
the tractor
tomorrow night.
tomorrow night.
night.
Does it have down
I'll let
pressure?
Frank do it.
Does it have down pressure on the bucket? Or no?
Yeah, it should have now, it should have better down pressure than it did before, right?
Because I know you're gonna be having a cold patch on the bucket, maybe it'd be nice either get Bill or Alfie with the skid steer or his little tractor to come in and press
No,
that.
Al said we could use his skid loader if we needed to. I talked to him today. He's gonna help too. I think Dale Harder's gonna help. And so anybody that just done anything to do Wednesday morning.
Kansas City, right, bring donuts.
Well, we could probably even have donuts, couldn't we?
You get the donuts, you take them to them.
Okay. We'll do that. All right, now then, back to this agreement. This cemetery is going to go back into their original office, which is bigger. And we're going to give the smaller one to because they need a place if they're processing paperwork or if they have somebody that come in to interview or whatever. So they're going to get the small one. And neither one of them are horribly huge, but I mean, the other one is bigger, and so we're going to let the cemetery have that one, which is the one they had originally. And we just need, we voted to contract with the sheriff. We have 2 options for police protection: hire our own police protection, or we contract with the sheriff according to our ordinances.
How did you guys come up with $24,000 for the truck?
I went online and put in, because they offered us $20,000 to start with. I said, that doesn't sound right to me. So I went online at Black Book, which gives you a much better actual figure than Blue Book, and put in the information we have here, and they said that if it had leather seats and all the bells and whistles, it would be up to $30,000, possibly. But equipped as it is, the price would be between $23,500 and $24,500.
Is that with the full police package
Yes.
in it?
Yes.
I find that hard to believe when a truck like it with low mileage is $34,841 on Blue Book.
Yeah, well, see, Blue Book, I used to sell cars. Blue Book, if you put your car in for Blue Book and it has 80,000 miles on it, and you put in, until then you stick it has 180,000 miles on it, it goes down. If you put in 280,000 miles, it goes down about $12. It doesn't actually, and Blue Book doesn't write checks.
How many miles is on the truck?
About 10,000.
How many?
10.
10,000? Oh my gosh.
We paid $29 for it.
Well, regardless of how much we paid for it, shouldn't we be bidding it to the public and having a low fee? And if it happens to maybe fall in at the sheriff's department fits that, then can go to them?
We don't have to do that.
Just because we don't have to,
Like
but is that not the correct way to do it?
Same way with the fire trucks. We could have put those up for bid, and the fire department could have paid for them, or we could have sold them to somebody else.
Okay, but the
But we
Wapello
didn't.
County Sheriff's Department is not actually like a city entity either. This is another government agency, because I was told that's a government agency, we can just pass it over, but it's not within our city.
Well, I checked in, I called the League of Cities, I talked to the county attorney in Wapello County, and they said that if you put in the 28 agreement with another governmental agency, if we sold it to the street department in Tumwa, we could 28 agreement, the same thing, then you do not have to put it out for bids as far as that goes.
Okay, I'm just gonna throw this out here because we already, through our taxes, Sheriff's Department still needs to come out and serve Blakesburg. And I'm still stuck on that because they are supposed to come anyway. So we're gonna pay them the amount that you say, $1,110 a month, so $13,320 a year. So if you have a $24,000 truck, so you say, and we're gonna trade them $13,320, then we're actually giving them the truck for $10,000. OMG, that's all I have to say about that. It does not make any sense.
And I know that, basically, I know they looked at buying trucks, 2013, the same thing, and this was in the ballpark of what?
Well, that's because they're giving a sweet deal. And then I want to bring this up too, because this really upset me not too long ago. Apparently, according to the agreement, we're supposed to provide for dog patrolling in our city, as in we have to respond if somebody gets hurt. Lady calls into the sheriff's department and they won't come out because they don't do dog complaints. That's our job. So my husband and I end up responding to somebody who was bitten by a dog. I do not have any kind of, idea of how to handle a situation if somebody's upset and pulls a gun because they think I'm the owner. This is not something we should be doing. The sheriff's department is trained for that. They need to be the ones doing it, and that should not be a part of the agreement.
Situations like that, I talked to the sheriff and told it, because that came up. If someone just has dogs running loose in their yard, or there are dogs that are on things, that's our responsibility. If someone gets bit, then it becomes an assault thing. It's a different story. And whoever you talk to, they will come and respond to that.
Well, they advised us that they are not, that's not their department, that's our department.
Well,
so that's something that needs to be clarified, because it's not safe for us to do that.
I will talk, if it's a dog bite or a dog attack situation, then you're into something besides just a dog problem. Yes?
Bill, our police truck is not paid for, is it?
We owe $8,244. Now, if we pay it off this month, that's how much we owe. If we pay it off in the schedule, it's $6,400 this year, and it's about $4,800 next year.
So we actually need their money to pay that thing off before we have anything to show for it. That bill needs paid off with the money that they're
we still
willing
have
to pay
funds
for it.
that come into the police department regardless of whether we send it out to the Wapello County Department or not. Our city still brings in money to that department. It may not be as much, but we still do. So it's interesting to me because it seems like it's presented as if we have no money and tax money that goes to the police department, but there still is a part of our police area, police funding that does go to that department that could pay for the truck.
That could pay off our loan.
It'd be in 2 years. The 60, maybe 6,800 this year. So it was almost $11,500 for a total that we pay it off according to the repayment schedule.
If we pay it off
Yes.
now,
On schedule.
we're only gonna pay 84, so how much are we saving?
82, 44, 52.
Okay, how much are we saving?
Well, we're saving, instead of $12,000, you're gonna pay 82. So it's not quite $4,000.
Pizza folk in there with a sharp stick.
And there will be issues that come up. And if they are, before you call and start rumors or going all around, call me. And I will call the sheriff and say, this is what we need to have done, this is not working. Part of the problem, I won't say that. Some of the things that go on in Blakesburg is that everybody talks to everybody except the people who can actually do something about it. Eventually, it gets back to the people who can do something about it. And this is an area that we need to make sure that stops. And there are some other areas. Just while I'm talking about this, is that people, I hear things about our city employees from people that's been da-da-da-da-da, that aren't true, or may not be true, but instead of coming to find out if it's true, or if they have a problem, they talk to everybody else before they talk to me. So if you have a problem with one of our city employees, don't go over the post office or the C-store or the elevator and start talking about it, just come talk to me. And then if you want to go talk to the elevator, you can. But that just has to stop. What we need is we need a motion to vote this up or down, and then we can move on.
Bill?
Yes?
In your 2080 agree, is there any funds coming back to the city through the new laws that you guys set?
We will, okay, I talked to the county attorney about, okay, let's say they write someone a ticket for running the stop sign, okay? And the people decide to go to court and fight it. The county attorney will not will not prosecute that. Our city attorney will have to prosecute that. So, our city attorney goes and prosecutes them, they find out, okay, they have to pay the $40 fine. It's going to cost us probably $160 to pay our attorney.
Your city fine's one thing, but they choose to fight the city fine. I thought it went back to the state fine, they had to pay full payment plus court costs.
Well,
That's right.
That's how Atomo does theirs, and then it doesn't cost the city nothing.
Okay, well, if that's the case, then whatever, but I know we've given them a list of our ordinances as far as that goes. And I'm going to, whoever it is, the deputy, we should be assigned a particular deputy that's here the majority of the time. And
how
give him those and let him know that if that's the case, then we want the money coming to the city. And if someone fights it, then they'll have to go to the state fines.
Of course, the city will still get their portion of the ticket, but the rest of it will have to go to the attorney and to the court cost and
yes.
that.
So,
But if he's found guilty, he's responsible for those.
For all of them.
9 yards.
Yeah.
All of
so,
them.
and it's a deterrent for taking it that far, but it would help us because we have that whole list of fines about things as far as that goes, which they will prosecute or that they'll.
So who's going to be responsible, you or the deputy, for notifying our attorney of the situation?
It should be sort of a joint thing. I mean, they'll be responsible when they file that, because they have to do it on a computer now, and it goes to the county, to the jail, to the courthouse, the county courthouse, and then our attorney get a copy of it or be notified of what's going on.
Know that from experience.
What happens if cities don't do anything?
I said I know how that works from experience.
Hey, I mean, they just.
Well, it's the same thing that, I mean, if they don't, then they issue a warrant for their arrest, which you mean, getting arrested. Because then you're talking about.
Queen City, Missouri.
Fee schedule for those.
There's a trend there, go to Missouri.
Oh, well, I got one in northern Iowa too.
You need to change your name.
They do have a
or
bad
No,
girl,
I have been a bad girl driving.
something. Again?
No, no, no. If I get another ticket,
Again?
All right.
but that's how that works.
I would entertain a motion, one way or the other, on this 2080 agreement.
Make a motion, we approve the 2080 agreement.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
I think we've discussed it as much. All right, all those in signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
Nay.
We have 4 ayes and 1 nay. Motion carries.
We need something though in writing, the dog attack.
I'll talk to the sheriff about
I
that.
know you will.
I mean, okay, now then, resolution setting a public hearing requested rezoning of 203 West State Street. Anybody wants to know where that is? It's the house that burned over here. It's behind the old bank and across the C-store. And we have all the information about what the rezoning and all that stuff is, but it's not this tonight. All we're just going to do is set a public hearing, and then we'll get that stuff to you in time for you to look at it. Then we'll have a public hearing in October, and we'll go from there. Okay. But what I need is a motion to set a public hearing on this rezoning of real property at 203 West State Street to 7 p.m. October the 10th, 2016.
So your motion is on the
Set the public
resolution,
hearing.
right? It's the resolution.
Resolution to set
Yes.
the public hearing, yes. Do you want me to read this whole resolution?
No, just the title would be great. I
It's
don't know what-
resolution setting a public hearing on requested rezoning in 203 West Street. So this will be resolution 16.9.12.2. You got that? Okay.
I'll make a motion.
That's what?
Well, we set the public hearing for 7 p.m. October 10th, 2016, right here.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Ayes have it, motion carries. Okay, I know, we got a fly in here, bugger. They've invaded my house. All right, so that's it. Old business. Anyone have any old business?
What about the other house over here that burned?
That, I talked to Marion, and he's gonna call me, and we're gonna go and look at that house. We're gonna look at this one. We're gonna look at these 3, just this side of the bridge on the north side of the road. And he's gonna give me an opinion as to whether or not they're fit to repair, or, and then after we get that, then we'll go from there.
I know on this one over here, I think if we just start pushing it a little bit, well, that's giving a little.
Yeah, well, that, and so I'm gonna have to contact, because they're supposed to get permission to go in there, you know, so we're gonna contact and let them know that's what's going to happen. And Famous's house, there's no nothing we need to do, that just has to go. And I already told him that. He said, well, I better get some good things out of there. I said, well. I mean, that's not, there's no, we don't have to pray about that, that just has to go.
I don't know how he's gonna find anything that's any good.
They
He'll
posted.
probably go there and find anything he wants.
And while we're in the process, can we have him look at the Ogden property?
Yes, I can do that.
I want that tree gone.
Yeah.
I
know.
twice this week I've been nearly hit backing out of my driveway because people ran that stop sign.
Yes, and I talked to the county engineer about getting us one of these stoplights to put stop signs flashing to put down there.
Now that might keep me awake.
He hasn't done it yet.
Still help.
But yeah,
It'd be good.
you can sit there and watch people, some of them slow down,
They do.
some of them downshift, some of them they upshift.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's,
and the
Okay.
ditch break coming through there all the
anybody,
time.
is there any new business?
Snow plow needs a little work, and in 60 days, you could be needing.
Hopefully it's.
Well, I hope it doesn't
No
snow
more than
either.
6, it's more than 6
It
days.
snowed in October here.
Yes, it has. In fact, didn't we get a snow early and then we didn't anything for
Yes,
2 months
for
or
how
something
long?
like that? We'll look at that. I have somebody that can come in and look at that and see exactly what needs. The tractor, we get it tomorrow because it's done. It should be good as new for another 40 years.
I've got the cover of the air cleaner that got run over and I got it straightened and it's down home.
Okay, good.
So
But,
don't lose the air cleaner bringing it home.
It'll be at the floor, we'll.
Don't
I
lose
mean,
that cover.
the element, not.
You know what they want for that cover?
No.
$325.
Is it gold or?
I'll lend you a
Industrial,
big
it's Ford
person.
industrial yellow.
That's called historic.
Well, it probably is an antique. If nothing else, I guarantee.
Is,
Yes,
is Dave gonna be able to do
This is-
anything, or should we?
this is how it was. I talked to Dave today, he came into the office, and I talked to him, he's gonna go tomorrow with Dale Harder to get some signs for the road closing signs, mostly just to go. He is not to the point yet that he is saying that he can't come back. We have got people here that have volunteered to take care of the grass, the streets, the reading the meters. The only problem, and I talked with him, I said, if something comes up with the water tower, or we got a saddle that's gone or something, and he said, I'll be up to supervising to do that. So, until he looks me in the eye and says, I can't come back.
I'm just wondering if he was able to.
Yeah,
He's in and out.
Gotta let him fight.
yeah.
Mhm.
Just
He's
gotta let
a-
him fight.
Yeah, but I know he came out and did a couple things, you know, as far as that goes, and, so, but, if we get to the point that we have to hire a temporary, part-time employee to do some of those things, say to plow the roads, we'll do that, or we'll get somebody that,
Let's get him a lot more probably down.
yeah, so far, we have enough people volunteer to do the things that, need to be done. It's just that those things that I said, now, Dave, if you decide you can't do it, you're gonna have to leave your brain here. Because the things that he knows where they are and stuff, is, we have to need to start writing that stuff down. But that's where we are right now.
I'd like to say thank you to all the volunteers who've been helping out too.
Yeah.
I think
It's been good. I mean, it's nice when things come together too, but there have been a lot of things that have been done that wouldn't have gotten done. And I don't know how many people have Wednesday with the blacktop, but last year we had 6 or 8, and that's
That's probably enough to get each other's way.
almost, but not quite. I'd entertain a motion to adjourn if someone would make it.
So moved.
Second.
No, second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Oh, hearing none, I the meeting is adjourned. Thank you, folks. Yes, ma'am?
Huh?